Hello and welcome to another Field Focus. This week we're talking about marketing. I just need to do something because I'm having a wee bit of an issue with my recording. I just want to take a screenshot to prove that this is recording so that I can figure out an issue that I've got at the moment. Anyway, sorry for the distraction, but I just thought, oh, I can do that. I just don't know where it's recording to. We've got a bit of a, got to be a detective at the minute. Anyway, let's get back to the point in hand. So we're talking about marketing. So marketing is so important. And we were talking about social media platforms the other day. But I want to actually get to the whole hub of what it's about. Let's get to the core. And when you write a book and you've got your business, you want to attract clients, you want to attract readers, you want to have more sales, you want to grow your business, all of that, nothing happens unless people know who you are, where you hang out, and what you offer, and who you're offering it to. You know, I wouldn't go into a shoe shop to buy a pound of mints, showing my age. You know, I wouldn't go to the cinema if I wanted to play bowling. So that's the same for you. So today I want to talk about something that we talk about almost from the word go, and that's visibility. What it is about being visible. But today I'm shifting the lens. I'm not going to look at how to be more visible. We're going to look at what's the challenges about being visible. I think if we can identify the challenges, we can find solutions. Sometimes if you haven't gone through that kind of a process, then it's harder to think, well, what can I do? You might get a bit stuck. But if you come up with a challenge, you can go, oh, well, I've got this challenge of I'm not visible on social media. So right away, what's the answer to that? Become visible on social media. You see what I mean? Whereas you can say, right, I need to be visible on social media, but how am I going to do that? Why do I need to do it? Because sometimes you don't realize something's a problem because it's buried in your subconscious mind. So anyway, it's about visibility. And I'm going to share with you something that I did yesterday in my weekly drives. I don't normally do this, but it was so good that I thought it's too good not to share with you. So I thought I would do that today. So let me get it on screen. And where's it disappeared? Okay, give me a moment. Give me a moment to let me just go through my usual steps because it doesn't seem to want to do it the other way. Okay, I can now see it. Let's start the slideshow. Or maybe I should have waited till I had you on board. But anyway, let's share. Hopefully I see it this time. Yes, easy peasy. Oh, it wants me to share now. Let's start a slideshow. Okay, hopefully you can see it now. So we're going to look at 5 challenges. There could be more. You might figure out what the challenges you've got and see if you can come up with a solution. What's stopping you? And the answer to everything that stops any of us doing anything is it's not a priority. As soon as something becomes a priority, you deal with it. So it's like, oh, I've got a drip and tap. Oh, I'll deal with it next. I'll deal with it tomorrow. Mañana. 3 months later, the tap's still dripping. We're human. We're busy. We work. We might have kids running about our feet, whatever. But what happens then when all of a sudden that tap bursts and the water's spouting out everywhere? That's a priority. So we do something about it then. We phone up a plumber and get them out and we say, sorry, I should have got you 3 months ago. But there's some people in the world that are a bit like that. They're preventative rather than reactive. And we want to be proactive rather than reactive. So I want to be thinking about things first to put us on the front foot, so to speak. So let's look at what the challenges are. So competition in saturated markets. What does that mean? Well, if you're let's say you're a leadership coach, and your book's on leadership, how are you going to stand out? How are you going to stand out in your leadership? What you're going to do? Well, one of the things that we consider is our brand, and using our brand to do that, and knowing who we are. We want to be different, and we want to show everybody that we are, hello, here I am, and this is I know I can help you, and this is how I can help you, because, and why should you come to me? Why should you come to me and not go to the person next door? Why are some restaurants popular and others aren't? What is it about them? What makes them feel like I want to go to that restaurant, but I'm not going to that restaurant? And it could be 2 Indian restaurants. At the bottom of my street, I've got 2 Indian restaurants. One I go to and one I don't. Why? Because I prefer the brand of the other one. I prefer the quality of the other one. I prefer the ambience, etc., etc., etc. They are a bit more expensive, but it's worth it. So, you have got to know all these reasons, all these whys, why. So, your brand is the thing that's going to differentiate you from that. So, let's see what it's saying about that. Then, oh, don't know what's happened. Oh, it's paused. Don't know why it's paused. Going to stop share. Oh, share screen. And let's look at the solution. So the solution is through your UVP, your unique value proposition. We used to call it a USP, didn't we? A unique selling point. So we still kept the word unique because we are all unique. No one's got your experiences, your education, your expertise. They've not got the epiphanies that you've had. So therefore, that makes you unique, because there's only one of us. Now, change the word selling to value, and that just changes your whole mindset around it, doesn't it? What's my unique selling point? Oh, Brits. I'm working with a coach at the moment, and he's a Brit, very successful coach, but he's always slagging off the Brits when it comes to selling, because we've got all these hang-ups. So do you have a hang-up around selling? I learned from another coach that if I change the word selling to service, then that helps me. But now, if we even take it a step deeper and go value, what's our unique value proposition? So what is it that we're offering? That's an offer. So you could put unique value offer if you wanted to call it a UVO, but in the business world, they're calling it a proposition. I quite like the word offer, actually. I think that's nice. Anyway, you can decide, but it's the same thing. So you have to know your value. Where do we start here at Brilliance Publishing? We start with our values. We have got to know who we are, what we stand for, what we stand against, what drives us, what helps make us decisive decision makers. We take risks. We can decide. You come across people who aren't quick decision makers. So, for example, people who want to write a book, there's 100-mile long queue of people who want to write a book. How many actually write that book? Not many. They want to write a book, and then they go exploring and doing their due diligence about what does it cost, what do I want. Actually, you should look at the value of what you want and what you want to get out of it, then that can add the value, and you look at who you're going with. But quite often people will say, you might have been one of these, but quite often people will say, I need to think about it. And I understand that, because I'm not asking you to spend £100 or £1,000. So you might need to think about it. But actually, here's the rub. If you're in business, you should know that a book is part of your marketing strategy, and that's why you want your book. So I've had authors come to me, I want a book because I want to be the go-to expert in my field. And I know I need to have a book. Everybody's got a book, so I'm going to have a book. So once you build that rapport and they realise you're a good fit, it's a yes. It's a yes. I've experienced that this week. Met somebody once, boom. 2 days later, boom, they're in, new author. Because he knew what he wanted. And yeah, we all want to write a book, but actually we don't really know what's involved in writing a book. It's not just sitting, typing away. It's all this stuff. So while you've got great enthusiasm for writing a book and getting everything out your head onto the paper, you need that same level of enthusiasm when it comes to selling your book, or propositioning your unique value, shall we say. Let's change the language, because I'm liking that a lot. So let me just check here. Stop sharing again. Oh, hold on. So when you are clear and you know exactly your unique value proposition, that sets you apart, because most people do not know this. I am in a lot of calls and working with a lot of coaches just now, because that's what you do when you want to be the best. You work with those who are already where you're aiming to get to. And I see so many business owners and they don't know basic things about their business. It's a bit scary, actually. But as you know, writing a book gets clarity. Writing a book creates that transformation. So so you need to know yourself and your target audience. What's their pain points, and how is your solution tailoring what they need so that they can say an easy yes, and that they can write that book or whatever it is with you, join your mastermind, whatever it is your business is, and of course it will build loyalty. So let's go back. Oh, I don't know what's happening. Sorry. Okay. So next, number 2, limited marketing budget. So look, particularly when you've paid out to have your book done, we've not got exhaustive funds, or limitless funds, I should say. So what can we do that's free or low cost? Well, you can engage on social media. That doesn't cost anything other than time and effort. Time, effort, and money all have a same high vibrational frequency. So when your time and effort matches the value of the money, then abundance and things come to you. Sometimes money out of the blue arises and you think, oh, I forgot about that. Oh. So when you're in that right state, then great things happen. So you can blog. Doesn't cost half an hour time maybe to write a blog. Find an image and blog and put it on your website, put it on Medium, put it on Google's got a blogging platform. Send it out to your list. That's another thing you can do. You've got your list. Send your blogs out. Send out other content to your email list. So there's lots of things that you can do that are free, except for time and effort. It's 3 things. It's time, it's the effort you put in, and it's the money. So we can do a job and do it half-heartedly. How can you expect great results if you're only half-hearted? You have to put all of you in it, all of that energy. When I read an email, you can tell the people who have really thought about their email, they've got their brand voice, everything. It's so great. It's exciting to read. It's not long either. Keep your email short, your email marketing short. So and you're limited. The solution is that, so make sure it's cost effective. So maybe in the beginning, your email platform like MailChimp, MailerLite, we used to use that campaign. Now we've got ConvertKit. That might cost me X amount of pounds a month. So I need to make it work for me. I need to make it work for me. It's not just getting me a client. It's are my figures rising? Am I keeping my eye on my stats? And we're going to come up to that. So the next number 3 is changing algorithms and platforms. Now you hear this speaking about all the time. Now I really want to create a pod for us because that's one way to help with the algorithms. You need to check whatever platform you're on, what is happening, how are they saying to get the biggest and widest reach. So we know that on LinkedIn, if you get like comments and shares within the first hour, although I think somebody says it's changed to 2 hours now. See what I mean? Algorithms change, the rules change, goalposts. Just think algorithm is rules. And so you need to keep yourself abreast. So make sure you're following someone who talks about your platform, who knows your platform inside out, whatever that may be, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever it is. Just make sure you know how it functions and how to get the best out of it. So you really need to be in a place to be adaptive. You can't go, oh, well, last week they told me it's this and get upset about it. See, it's a game. It's a game. Life's a game. So just think, okay, last week, so what do I need? Instead of moaning and complaining, flip the lens again and say, well, what do I need to do now? Go and talk to someone who's in the know. Read articles, go and, you can go into LinkedIn, Google latest news on LinkedIn algorithm. Somebody will have written a blog somewhere, because we're all out wanting to find our followers. And you might find someone you think, well, I'm going to follow them because I like the way they speak. So it's all about finding the gurus for you. So here at Brilliance Publishing, we have all our gurus. If I want any of you to get presence in America, I've got someone that I go to for that. They're part of what I call the creative team here at BBP. I've got 2 people for LinkedIn that I can consult with. So the more people, I've got someone for websites, SEO. So I am finding creative partners to help you. We work out low-cost marketing and PR because I'm telling you, you know how we do press releases. We were at the book fair in March. I wouldn't say the name of the business, but we spoke to a PR company. They charge £750 plus VAT for one press release. And 3 months working on that one press release. So that's £1,000, more or less, for one. And it's not guaranteed. So, marketing PR can be expensive. That's why I find the right people who can give us things that are cost effective, shall we say. So it's very important. So find your own gurus, mentors that you can trust. So number 4 is maintaining consistency across channel. I go on and on and on and on about this. I go on about visibility, which is this, and consistency. It's not good being visible one day and then not coming back for another 4 or 5 days, or maybe a couple of weeks or whatever. I was at so I'm working with Daniel Priestley in his mentorship at the moment. And yesterday, 8 o'clock in the morning, so I'm dedicated. I'm thinking I might do an 8 o'clock in the morning powwow myself. And what he was saying to everybody on that call, and there was about 100 people on that call. And what he was telling us is, I've now forgotten. It was to do with, it's consistency. Yes. So he asked the question, who here posts once a week on social media? Of course, a few hands went up. But then some of us were smiling and like shaking our head. You know, if you're serious and you want to make an impact and make a difference in the world, and you really want to do well as a lifestyle business, then you need to be posting every day. Once a day is fine, but you need to make sure you've got your brand sorted and it's your brand voice. So I've now been doing articles, and my LinkedIn is really rising, and I'm getting people connecting with me, and within 3 days signing up for a book, because your reputation is going there. Put out all your awards, build your PR leverage on it. So Jamal, who's one of one of the BBP authors, he leverages everything. He's been #1 in 5 countries. He's always on the BBC, Sky, ITV. He was on Great Britain News, GB News the other day, and underneath it said expert and author. That's why he came to BBP to write a book. He wanted to be known as a go-to expert because of his book. He became the Freeman of the City of London because of his book, because he was an author, not because he was a business owner. No, the author, because the book has made a significant impact in his business and it's changing people's lives. Boom, boom. That's why we all need to have that book. So consistency across the channels, 3 times a week minimum. Use the weekend to be more personable and let people in to see your life. So like you might go to the beach for the day, or you might be out shopping, or you might be going for a nice meal, afternoon tea. You might be going for a walk in a forest somewhere. Show a bit of who you are, a little bit of vulnerability. Vulnerability is one of the most powerful things for leaders. So you need those brand guidelines for that consistency across your social media, across everything. And that's where you have the brand strategy. Now here on the author's adventure, I'm sure there's some like 11 or 12 activities that you need to undertake in order to create your brand strategy. Did I print mine off? Let me see if I put it in here. Oh, I keep moving things about. Maybe it is in here. Maybe our brand strategy is in here just to show you. Let's hope I'm walking. Yeah, here we go. So, brand strategy. Let me stop sharing for a moment. So this is what all of you should have worked towards. This is Brilliance Publishing's brand strategy. So when I want to know how to write a post, I go, well, what's my voice? Brand voice. My brand voice is witty, purposeful, respectful, and enthusiastic. So all my posts are all high energy. Well, 99% are definitely of high energy. What's my brand identity? Because that's another crucial one. Do I show up with the same colours, or do we not know? So, for example, Daniel Priestley's brilliant at brand identity. He's always dark blue and red, white. McDonald's, the yellow arches. Apple. But Apple's very clever. And you could do it with the arches as well. Because Apple, if they've got campaigns on, let's say they're doing Pride or something. Let's hope they still call it Pride. I might be out of date. Who knows what they call it today. Anyway, they create a rainbow apple, don't they? But you still know it's apple because that shape's emblazoned into our heads. When you think of Apple, it automatically comes up, doesn't it? You think phone, you think laptops, iPads. You have to have that branding. What's your logo? Is it simple? We've simplified our logo. We used to have a circle of readers. Now we have one reader because it stands out. And that's what goes on the spine of your book. So you need to make sure you've gone through all that to do that. Do you want to be successful? Do you want to be earning more than 100K? Do you want 10K, 20K months? You need to make sure that so I have this book. I'll show you what it's called. It's called the BBP Viv, Very Important File. So our life is in here. I'm always updating it. There's the 1-page marketing plan that you're meant to do. I have a 1-page marketing plan. I look at it. I have different ones for different campaigns. Here's the mantra that you should all have a copy of. If you've not, shout at me. Here's a marketing campaign we've done as well. So this is the one-page marketing campaign done in 3 pages because I've broken down the target market, the message. So in the beginning, you really need this and you want to get to that 1 page. Yeah, so everything that I need in here is in here. All my processes. There you go. It says the author's journey overview. So this is what happens. So we have a proposal. We send you all the documents we need to send you out, and we do that. And here's the author's journey, all broken down into a visual. So it's very important that you have a folder with all your processes in this sits in my desk or in that drawer. I got a bit confused. The one that's for authors for all of you is pale blue. It's the other blue that we use, you know, the turquoise. Anyway, so even my folders are branded. Anyway, I've lost track. Sorry about that. Easy to do. So let's just go and see what the last thing is. So remember, get that strategy, know who you are and know how you need to show up. Last one, measuring your effectiveness. So how can you grow what you don't measure? It stays the same. You don't know. It's like in the ether somewhere. You can't do that. So like every month we track our followers on LinkedIn. So we can see how much we're growing, and it's increasing. In the last 6 months, it's increasing. Might have been about 10 a month. Now it's about 40, 50 a month. And I think that'll will go up rapidly as well. So you really have to measure your effectiveness. So for 25 years, you know, I worked in education, and I was a Senko, and we had to do things called IEPs, and IEPs were based on SMART targets. So with a specific, measured, attainable, relevant, and added timed. And that's like you. So every month we set some goals, and hopefully we achieve them. Sometimes you need to extend them, sometimes you achieve them sooner. It just depends what it is. But don't give yourself, in a month, give yourself 3 goals. 5 if you really have to. Not a whole lot, not a page of goals. 3, because you need to do them well. So maybe you want to create a system. So make sure you do that well, you know. So look, when you go into LinkedIn, it gives you all this. I don't know about you, but I get an email and it gives me all my analytics. If you're on Google Business, you get all your analytics. Most things, look, people think they go ChatGPT and AI. We've been using AI for years. Grammarly is AI. You know, all the search engines are using AI. It's just as becoming more widely usable, and they're bringing it to our attention now. So you will have analytics with everything you get. We have analytics with I don't know what that is, sorry about the sound. We have analytics with our Convert Kit. Every platform that you subscribe to will have analytics on it. So measure them. So make a decision what you are going to measure. You can't measure everything. Oh my God, you would need somebody, and that was a full-time job. But you need to, you want to analyze your main platform, what's the impact. Look at, so I know on LinkedIn that my Monday posts are the biggest, they get the most impressions and the most likes, comments, shares, and that's because it's a poll. Polls are very popular. Just go into Google and ask about LinkedIn. It will tell you that polls are the most popular way to get engagement. So that's why we use a poll for engagement. So you could be asking your readers questions for engagement. Create a poll as you're writing and marketing your book. Use all these tools. They're there for a reason. So you need to measure what's going on. So you might measure, so book sales. So we get, every month we get your book sales from all the different print and demand places. What we don't get is the books that you sell. So I'm now going to ask, I need you to tell me how many books you sell personally in a month. Do you have books to sell? Why not? Do you give books away? Why not? Your book shouldn't just be about making the money. Fiction writers are different, but if it's a business book, it's a lot different. And we'll talk about that as well. So Daniel Priestley tells everybody they should buy 1,000 books and give them away over the course of a year. We'll talk more about that another time. So yeah, measure. So book sales, followers. I need a third one. Book sales, followers, and maybe looking at what posts get the most engagement. Track your engagement, and if it's not happening, then your website as well. Sorry, your website. Your websites also should have analytical tools attached to it as well, so you can track the how many people are coming to your website, how long are they staying, what's the most popular thing that they're looking at, because your website is better than social media, because you own it. Don't own social media. If it collapses tomorrow, all those, we've got over 5,000 connections and 5,000 followers. So, you know, we're somewhere about 8,000 people who know of Brenda Dempsey and BBP. I don't have a list. And nor should I, because it might be infringing GDPR. So there we go. We might get Jamal on to talk to us about GDPR. I think that would be good. Okay, so that's it. I don't need to go over about the next one. We've got a community here. So there's 5 things to consider about visibility. The marketplace, how you standing out with your brand. Are you consistent on your social media? Are you in actually being visible? But when you're visible, you're showing up in the same way. Do you know your brand identity and your brand voice? Do you always show up? Are you measuring all of these figures? Because businesses are run on figures. So if you're in the beginning, it's not important. I didn't look at figures in the beginning because I'm too busy trying to get my business together. But I was actually being a bit silly because I'd been in education where everything's run on figures. So I should have known from the very start, I need to start keeping figures on. Do one thing, and then when you get good at that, add another, and then maybe create 3 things. Eventually, you'll have a list of things that you can look at each month. But, you know, you need to work up to it. You can't just do it all at once. It'd be overwhelming. So there we are. Put your comments below. Share with us how you're visible. What kind of things are you doing? Share with us what are the pitfalls about being visible. What do you find challenging? Let's see how we can help each other. And not just my voice, but all your voices with your thoughts, opinions, and experiences would be greatly appreciated. So until next time, this is Brenda saying, be brilliant. Much love. To the pit.